Good morning. Today is Monday, March 1st. I don't have a lunch menu yet for this month, so today is potluck. Today in grades 4 through 5, it's a B day. In grades 6 through 8, it's an A day. Just a reminder that other than at school breakfast time, that water is the only liquid that is allowed at AMS and CWSA in classrooms, halls, and lockers. We don't allow soda pop, energy drinks, and the like in order to keep our building clean and to not attract ants due to the sugar that's in there. With the new week come new recess rotations in grades 6 through 8. Take a look to see where you'll be. Please note that the Boys and Girls Club option is there for Miss Beggs and Miss Gaffney's classes in grades 7 and 8. And nobody has a birthday today, so we'll try again tomorrow. So, for today's thought, I'd like to introduce you to Jeffrey Veregge. By his own description, he is both a native and a nerd. Here's his story.
I remember thinking, though, as a little boy, that my dad was a cowboy. When he went to work, that's what I thought he was. And the Indians were always depicted as savages on screen. They were the worst of the worst. And I thought my dad was the hero. So one day, my mom drops a bombshell on me. She says, "Jeffrey, do you know that you're Indian?" I looked at her and said, "Don't tell Dad." My dad is non-native. He's German-Irish. And I didn't want my dad to shoot me or kill me because I thought that cowboys killed Indians. I've been into comics. I can't remember when I wasn't into comics. When I was a child, it just enhanced my imagination. It just kept the worlds alive that I loved. X-Men in particular, they were constantly doing good and trying to make the world a better place, but they were hated because of who they were. They were hated because nobody understood them. So it provided me a sense of comfort and a place to get away from everything, you know. At least I could go there. And then when I wasn't reading them, I was drawing them, trying to just prolong that feeling. Natives in comics, natives in cartoons, unfortunately weren't far from the Western stereotypes. You'd see us being portrayed as dim-witted savages, that we were always out to get the hero or cause mischief or trouble. Now, I'm all for mischief and trouble. I like that, but to just to label us and take the ugliest stereotypes that you can find of our people and put them on screen, and you're putting in front of children, you're telling them that this is who you are, this is how the world sees you. That just adds to that anxiety that you're already feeling, because you know that you're different. You step out in this world, you think that the world is really out to get you. I'd battled depression my whole life. My whole life, I've been in fear of everything. It's anxiety, just accepting who I was and having to love that I'm a nerd. I mean, even today, in this era, you still don't, it's hard because I was picked on for this. It wasn't until I went to counseling, started getting medication, that I learned to love and accept myself. And at that point, I said, you know what, I need to start making art for me. You know, I don't care if it sells, I don't care if it does great. I just know that I want to make it, because I decided at that point that if I'm going to tell a story, I need to tell my story. The only story I know is being native and on the reservation. But these are 2012. These are my first pieces. The bat is actually what put me on the map. I just knew that I was having fun and did Batman in a way that I thought would still feel native. Same thing with Spider-Man. Red Wolf was Marvel's first Native American character. He came out in the 60s. Later on, he had his own series. When they decided to bring him back, however, they wanted to get rid of a lot of stereotypical things that you'd find in that book. Marvel brought me on for Red Wolf for that specific purpose. When they were telling a native story, they wanted to make sure that it was honoring and letting go of the old stereotypes that may occur. And they also wanted to get in some of those little things that only native people would understand, but definitely is part of the fabric of who we are. I'm doing the same thing that my ancestors did. I'm just telling the stories that I care about and that I love, that are relevant to me. And now I get to do it in a way with an audience that's much larger. And they're seeing that, you know, that as that Native culture has were much more than just what you see on TV or what you've seen on screen in the past, that we're alive and we're thriving and that we're able to be contemporary.
So the real journey Mr. Veregge went on here was going from a place where he was accepting the picture that the media was showing of natives as less than full people, or him feeling like an outsider, to be able to go to embrace what he loved, both the native side and the nerd side of himself, and how to keep moving on past that till he got to a spot where he could then tell his own story in his own words. So today's challenge is not to worry about that whole journey that he went through. You can't do all of those in middle school. But what you can do is learn at the beginning to love yourself. Learn to recognize your strengths. Define yourself by who you are, not by who somebody else says they are. So, hey, this is a journey we're all going on. Let's make it easy on each other as we're going there. All right, take care.